Testing.
Oh, now, okay.
Testing. Testing.
You got him now?
Why do you have no? You didn't have me.
Calm down, Paula.
Look at super chill kind of music. Welcome to Bless's Kitchen. It is Thursday, and this is the place to be at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I am so thrilled to have finally Daniel and Josefina Beta. These are friends of mine. I've known them for a long time from when I was at St. Michael's, and they're finally in the hot seat. They're in front of the camera instead of behind the camera.
Oh my goodness.
So we got a lot to talk about. And how do you like this delicious food?
It looks amazing.
Looks good, right?
It looks so
My mom made the lasagna and the dessert, and I think she's really liking these little tasks to do on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Now that we're going on a hiatus for the month, I don't know what she's going to do. But anyway, let's start with a prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Lord Jesus, thank you. Thank you for the many blessings in our lives. I thank you for Daniel and for Josefina, for their children. I thank you for their presence and their ministry, for their time, talent, and treasure. Bless this food we're about to receive, and bless those who go hungry in a special way. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I don't know about you, but this is a huge piece of lasagna.
I hope your mom brought some
It is so
vegetables
big.
here afterwards.
Well,
It's so big.
Small, good, reasonable portion.
Oh, you told them small?
Yes.
That still looks big, though. Well, cheers. Thank you for coming.
Cheers.
God bless. You guys bless this kitchen with your presence. So I want to, maybe I'm going to eat my salad afterwards.
That's
Yeah, I'm going to,
eat the healthy stuff first.
So
yeah. And the lasagna doesn't get cold, so we're going to go ahead and eat this. But I wanted just to so that the parishioners get to know you. You guys have been at St. Augustine for a while. When did you guys transition over from St. Michael's? When you bought your house? Because I know your house is closer to here.
No, we were still at St. Michael's then, but there were some changes in St. Michael's, and then we just found ourselves coming to St. Augustine maybe about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I first came, when I first was here at St. Augustine, and I saw you guys, I was like, oh, they came to see me. And then somebody told me, no, they've been here. Yeah, but I know them from St. Michael's.
That's real cute.
Bon appetit.
It almost seems like we were shopping around, almost like how people say people church shop.
You guys were shopping around.
Yeah, definitely needed something closer. I don't know why, but getting the kids ready for mass.
Yeah.
And we just realized no matter what church we go to, it's us. It's not the church. It takes us forever. So.
And you guys, let me see if I can figure this out, because since I celebrate all the masses, I know where you sit, because like where I'm facing the people and I'm facing the people, you guys sit over here in the parish hall over to the left.
Yeah.
But you guys come to, I'm going to say either the 10 a.m. or sometimes you'll come to the 5 or 6:30.
Yes,
Is that
depending on how.
See, that's good.
That is.
Pastor knows.
That is good. You can tell we've had a day if we made it to the 5 o'clock mass.
But if you came to the 10 a.m.,
Yeah, we were sharp. We were sharp.
you're starting the day pretty
Yeah.
good. Well, it's awesome.
It's really good.
Good, right?
Very good.
Yeah. So I want to just backtrack a little bit, because I know you guys before you were married,
You sure do.
and you guys were very involved at St. Michael's, but tell me a little bit about that. Like, I know, Daniel, you come from a very Catholic family. You have an uncle who's a bishop in Cuba and religious, and so do you have the same, Josefina, in your family?
I do not.
No?
I do not. So we are probably the most opposite people that you'll ever meet.
Very opposite.
In fact, when we met, I used to call him Cain, because we were very close, because we were doing a lot of stuff, but for me he was like, oh,
Too
I'm
religious?
Abel and you're Cain. Yeah. But yeah, I think we're raised both to have a life of spirituality, but just in different environments.
In different environments.
Yeah.
Then how did you guys meet? Was it at St. Michael's through the young adult or through the youth group?
The youth group.
Yeah,
youth
that's
group.
what I thought, through the youth group.
Yeah, at the time my parents were leading the youth group.
Right.
And she was more involved in CCD at the time. And I think where we most crossed paths is when she would come over to recruit kids for the CCD.
Right. It was more like.
So what age did you guys meet?
I was 18.
8th grade?
Yeah.
Oh, 18.
No, not 18.
18.
Yeah, I was
She was 18. What am I, like 2 years older?
Yeah.
Yeah, 20.
Yeah.
So, and then what else happened after that? I think we just started hanging out more.
We just were doing
It just
the
came
same
together.
things. Yeah. And
But where does that come from? Like, because I remember when I was at St. Michael's, you guys were involved in everything. But that sense of being part of the parish, what's needed, what do I need to do? You guys were there. Whenever the pastor needed something, they can count on you guys. And you guys, I think, have good mentors. You have good friends that live that as well, who are older, an older couple that I think that you saw it in them and said, this is how we want to raise our children.
I think it was just, it's what made sense. You know, it was
Yeah.
the life that we were living already. There wasn't anything
Right.
outside of that.
Right.
I have a lot of friends now that ask, oh, did you ever go to Club this? I was like, Club who? You know, Club St. Michael is all that I basically knew.
Yeah.
And it just was the life that we both had. I mean, spending Friday nights at youth group
Right.
changes everything. Friday night for a teenager,
Right.
you know, is all sorts of things, but for us, youth group was our Friday night.
Yeah.
And then that started the weekend, you know, whatever had to be done on the Saturdays to prepare for whatever, if there was a festival,
Yeah.
or preparing for CCD
The
or a
festivals.
retreat. Oh yeah, the festivals.
Festivals and retreats.
Yeah.
Festivals
I
and
think for
retreats.
me, it really comes like from past generations. Like I know my dad's, both of my like you said, like both my parents are very devout, and it's because of that constant communication with their parishes, right? Like,
Yeah.
in my dad's side of the family, I told you there are 13 brothers and sisters, and
That's huge.
I mean, if that's not a sign for a Catholic family, I don't know what is. But they were also.
But you guys are on number 3, so
No, no.
Yeah, you heard what your husband said. That's a sign of a good Catholic family.
But they were always very involved in one way or another. You
Yeah.
know, and they all loved to sing, so they were obviously a part of the choir. I think my grandfather was electrical engineer, so he also fixed a lot of things in the church. So
Wow.
it's this very, very involved.
It's in your DNA.
It's in my DNA, yeah.
Yeah.
Like my parents did the same thing. Like when they were young, they met at their youth group, and they were always involved in the church and in the choir, and just that, you know, that home away from home kind of feel. Like
Right.
This is almost like our true home, right? Where
Right.
we feel just as comfortable.
Yeah, because that's how I was raised. I remember we as kids we were like, oh, I want to go home already. My parents would be like doing this, doing that, you know, teaching CCD or the men's group or the women's group, or they have. And as kids, we would play with the other kids that are around. But then it gets to a point like, I want to go home already. My parents are still
Right,
here, you know.
right.
But it was that sense of the parish is my community. I want to be part of it. I want to be
Right.
there all the time, and I want to do that as soon as we get over this craziness of COVID.
Yeah,
Get
that would be
more
nice.
things involved where this becomes a center, where it's not just you put gas into the tank once a week, but it's something that it's constant.
Yeah, where it's your family.
It's your family.
Right.
See,
That's
I
very
experienced that in Central Florida because there were very few Catholics. There was only one Catholic church, and so all the Catholics kind of like we needed our you know our space,
Yeah.
our togetherness. So I want to create that again.
I think that would definitely be nice, and you know, doing the Homes of Faith projects, we've been able to see so many different families virtually.
Yeah.
But it's something that we haven't had in a long time, that interaction with different families, knowing about them, their children, like
Getting to
how
know
they-
them.
Yeah, just getting
Yeah.
to know them, you know. That's how you build community, and
Yeah.
we all have the same foundation, which
Right.
is our faith. So that instantly brings us together,
Exactly.
which we had that at St. Michael's. Very lively, and I think, you know, just the authenticity of it made you want to be there.
Yeah.
And it was always fun. Like I always remember the during Holy Week we would do the procession and the Stations of the Cross around the
Yes.
neighborhood,
Yes.
and that was the most fun because all the different ministries came together.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like one big reunion. Like where for the most part you kind of keep to your ministry, whether it's
Yeah.
youth group or whether it's a prayer group. But like there, everybody kind of
So
commingled.
true.
And you go through the
So
neighborhood
true.
too, see
Yeah.
all everyone had like their own little,
Like
I
station.
don't want to say altar, but they would put a station, and you got to see different homes.
I remember I did that one year with you guys.
It was
It's
awesome.
powerful.
Yeah.
It had a different feel. It was very intergenerational. So we knew the youngest kids, the teenagers, the young adults, and the elderly.
Yeah.
And we all just knew each other. It wasn't, you know, so compartmentalized.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm trying to do here. I think it's so important to build that parish family. When,
That-
you know, people
yes.
say parish family. Well, no, it really is a family. And people
Yes.
know each other and they enjoy seeing each other,
Yes.
you know. So, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Do you remember? Did you ever meet Matias?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember like different, or Armada, like different people that we would know.
Yeah.
I guess maybe they were like our parish grandpas or something, but you had something to look forward to when you went to church, and just experiencing life itself with everyone in the parish. Just it made things come to life.
Yeah, and I remember there was the parish homeless guy. Do you remember that guy?
Yes.
Was it
Raul?
Raul.
Yes. Yes.
I tried to help him so much.
I think
I think we all did, but he eventually died of,
Yeah.
you know, he was a severe alcoholic, and
Yeah.
but I grew to love that guy.
I think
It took care of
we
him.
all saved him from trouble at one point or another.
And then he would act bad to someone, and then he would come and ask forgiveness and cry and everything. But it's those memories. It's
Yeah.
memories that you, as young people, remember your parish that you grew up with love and fondness, and it just goes into your marriage, and now you're married and married, and you're trying to create that family sense for
Yeah.
your children.
We want
and
that for our kids.
You want that for your
Yeah,
kids,
we want them
you know.
to be able to have that same experience.
Yeah.
Benjamin already feels pretty comfortable walking through all the halls.
He does.
Checks out all the pianos.
Which is so talented. Your son is incredible how well he's picking up piano.
Yeah.
He's loving it.
Oh, he's always loved music, and that's something that his family just shares.
Yeah.
That's definitely in their DNA.
But it was great because I said, no, we got to get this kid some piano lessons. And it was great that Jorge Emilio is doing that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's amazing.
that's awesome. But I want to talk a little bit about, because you guys are true models of time, talent, and treasure. And I love that. And I want others to see that that's a possibility, and it does bring fulfillment to a family to really give yourself for the Lord, and how much the Lord gives back to you. And it's something that you cannot outdo God's generosity. And you've been wonderful. You run our Instagram page for the parish and work with Michelle on the faith challenges, and so that's been great. And that's something that we started right after COVID.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting relationship Michelle and I have virtually now.
Yeah.
But that was just something that it happened so
Organically,
naturally.
yeah.
Organically, like, of course. I remember the first email that we received. You mentioned doing something live stream, and I said, okay, email Father, as if we've been doing this forever. And the Homes of Faith too, reaching out to Michelle, reaching out to you, saying, hey, let's do this.
It clicked.
It clicked.
Yeah.
It just
almost
clicked.
like we went into automatic or pilot. Like, we've been out of ministry for some years now.
Well, you guys took a break for the kids. Took a break to have children.
And you need to do that in marriage. We had different things going on in our lives, and for many reasons we did take a pause. But now the fact that was there, it came right back.
Yeah.
And your job right now is homemaker, right? You're at the home with
right
the
now.
children and stuff,
Yeah.
raising the kids.
Yeah.
That's your job right
I'm a teacher.
now. Right.
So, and I know the public schools are still gonna stay virtual.
But staying at home is probably the toughest job.
That being said, I feel like I have 20 jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the little one is how old? He's like almost a year?
The baby is 9
months.
9 months.
9 months.
Yeah.
He's big.
He's huge. He's huge.
He's big.
He's
Cute
a happy
kid.
baby. Just like with his siblings around, he's like, he's always happy.
Yeah, he's a cute kid.
Yeah, he is. He looks like me, so.
And so you're a teacher. So do you eventually want to get back into teaching? Is that something you want to do?
Well, I am teaching. I never.
Oh, you're
stopped.
still teaching?
Yeah. I never stopped. It's just, interestingly enough, I took 5 months or so to stay home with the baby. I really did want to take the whole year, and then God said, "Okay, I'll
COVID.
give you the whole year." And I went back the week that they closed.
Wow.
So I was there for a total of 5 days and had to pack my stuff. I'm like, okay, going right back home. But no, I'll still be teaching.
Which I heard the good news. I heard the good news today that you're going to be teaching one of the CCD classes.
Oh, wait, is this where you tell us everything?
Oh, you didn't know yet?
I had to tell you this. So last week when I was watching, it was Michelle last week.
Yeah.
And so I was watching, but I had put my phone down to prepare bottles, and then all of a sudden it stopped. And I was like, oh, well, maybe they had technical difficulties. And, I let it go and I realized, oh, my phone had died. Literally at 58 minutes or something like that. And then he texted me, oh, we're gonna be on
Bless's Kitchen.
I said, no, we're not. No, we're not. I watched the whole show. I watched the whole show.
Except for the last 30 seconds of it.
I'm telling him, it was God not wanting me to pass out in the kitchen because I would have just started screaming. What?
That's hilarious. No, I said, we have to have the brains behind this whole operations at our last show. So I said, Daniel, you got to come to lunch and bring Josefina. But tell me a little bit about your production company, because I'm impressed. I got to tell you, I'm impressed with how did that all start. And
so it all started working at a watch company, managing the whole video department. They always wanted to do their own kind of QVC thing.
But did you study that in college?
I studied TV production.
TV production.
Yeah, which I never thought would have served me any good, because everything else was just create a video, upload it on YouTube or put it on TV, but nothing that was live. And that's all I learned there. And so I left school. I graduated in 2009, 2008.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something around there. And I got an internship at MTV, just doing odds and ends. A little bit of experience there, and immediately after that I worked for a big online electronics company, just managing what I didn't know back then would be a lot of what I do today, which is product videos and creating all these videos about cameras, printers, just to help people kind of get a better idea of what they're gonna buy before they buy it, right? And then during that time also the whole idea of live stream, just almost like the town halls kind of thing.
Wow.
Then I left that to work for a watch company who, again, the whole live TV production came up again.
Because this watch company in particular does a lot of what you're saying, QVC and...
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. So they needed to start this whole TV studio from scratch. And at the time, I kind of didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I had an idea how to operate stuff, but I was kind of just
But did you tell them, yeah, I know how to do this?
In a more humble way, yeah. But I mean, I figured it out along the way. I got it to work. I got it to be from a department of 1 to a department of 10, where I was managing all those people.
Wow.
People from camera operators to on camera hosts, different things like marketing videos, product videos, live videos, all that. And then I realized after a certain point the company got bought out by an equity firm, by an investment firm, and it kind of went downhill from there. And I was thinking, you know what, if I had the work ethic to never let these people fail because of the skills that I brought, there's no reason I couldn't do it for myself.
Right.
And with that in mind, and kind of keeping it in prayer and just taking that leap of faith, I took it. And
what year was that when you did that?
That was between 2014 and 2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we had just...
Was that scary, taking that leap of faith?
Yeah, it was. It was, but I knew that, I wasn't just gonna sleep on it, right? I wasn't gonna let it fail. I was always gonna come up with something to make sure I had, food on the table, we were able to pay the bills, and just keep going at it.
Right.
I mean, luckily she also worked too.
Right. There was an income that was coming into that house.
but it was definitely a time where, and throughout our marriage, wherever we have struggled, I think we both made a decision to trust. And we have definitely had serious struggles, personally in our marriage and work life. And I think trusting that God's going to provide has basically been the key to
and that was your foundation, what you have always known.
Absolutely.
And,
even when we bought our house, that was also we're gonna go for it. We trust that this is the right thing.
I think looking back, as a person, you always try to think that you can handle this and you can do this and you're gonna, take the wheel, right? And
Or that the talents really truly come from you.
Right, and not from God.
Yeah.
and then imagine you're in that car and you're kind of dinging on the sides of the road, these sharp turns. And then what really happens when you look back, it's God made sure that those were just slight curves as opposed to
He's
sharp.
always there to
Yeah.
guide you.
Yeah.
That's a great analogy. So then you take the leap of faith, and then how does it go?
So at the time, I was doing a few cold calls kind of thing. I knew somebody at Coral Gables in downtown Coral Gables, Miracle Mile, and I started pitching the whole idea of doing videos. And they liked the presentation, they liked the idea. I got them to sign up on a monthly retainer. Oh, and the same thing, that same watch company that had quit, they couldn't find anybody to replace me, and they couldn't last a month without me, and so they had to call me back. And
That was genius on your part.
I knew it was gonna happen because with the whole thing with those corporate people, they don't value.
Right. They don't know what they have.
They don't know what they have. And I just saw it so often repeated where somebody from the outside as a consultant, they trusted so much more, blindly.
Yeah.
I'm you know what? I'm just gonna do it too. And so, yeah, they hired me back.
And they spend the money, which is
They
crazy.
paid me more and
Yes,
work less.
that's right.
Working
I
my
do
ass off.
remember thinking, wow, how did that work?
Yeah, that's so bizarre.
Yeah, and I kept it going for them until unfortunately they closed down. I think sometime in 2017. So I had them as a great client. At the same time, I was kind of growing the business elsewhere. Having that as a cushion, I was okay, let me try Coral Gables. Let me try working with a few other agencies. Kind of just getting an idea of what direction I wanted to go. I didn't know at the time I was really gonna get into live streaming. It was just really okay, you need a video? I got you, I can get it done, kind of thing. And so that, and as I matured in the business, I was thinking, okay, well, I gotta stop thinking as a freelancer and start thinking more as an entrepreneur, because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's really who I am. I'm
Right.
an entrepreneur. I just like video as a tool.
Yeah.
And for me, it just comes a lot easier for me. But for me, it's always been about how can I make this better? How can I offer something new and different to people? And for me specifically, it's all about the experience.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be able to pivot the business in a way where it's not just video, where any business might, hey, I need this video done. Yeah, we can get it done for you. It's okay, why do you need that video? Do you even need video, or do you need more than one? And so what are your business goals behind
And
it?
you're so good at that, because working alongside you for all these months, I see that is your secret sauce, where you sit with the person and say, I can do more for you. And not only can I do more for you, I can do it like this, and it do just blow their mind away,
That's definitely a key talent. where
It's a key
you
talent.
Can see more
He
than
could
the
see
person.
beyond, and also as a producer, as a director, and you're quick too. You say, no, we got to do it like this. You got to say this. You got to. And I've seen your work, which is excellent. And I'm going to tell our parishioners now that one of the things that I've been trying to say to our parishioners is, go, if you're with your business, go with other parishioners. Do business with other parishioners. And we've seen that now. We've seen that some of the parishioners have taken note of Creative Particle, and they're very happy with what you're producing and helping them out. And there's a connection. Oh, you go to St. Augustine, of course I'm going to help you. And I'm an honest guy who loves the Lord and who's going to treat you
Right.
well. And let's make something beautiful.
We definitely want to work with people that
Yeah.
that understand who we are
Right.
as people and as
Because at the end of the day, it's not always about money. Yeah, you need money to buy
Right,
food and to
right.
support your kids, and you need a college fund, and that's. But there's something more. I want to know who you are. What do you need?
Yes.
And let's make you shine and make your business the best that we can make it.
Yeah,
And that's
working
kind of
in
how
our
I
own
always pitch
community.
it. Yeah.
Right.
It's always doing something more collaborative,
Right.
more of a partnership with clients.
I always find it interesting when he sees a potential client and he's like, I don't know about this one, but they might be doing something that doesn't
That's
necessarily
right.
reflect their values.
Right, that's right.
But when he does fall in love with a client, it doesn't even
It's all
matter
in.
the budget. Yeah,
It's all in.
He's all in no matter what the budget is.
I've seen that
because
with him.
It really has to do with what they're about and if
Yeah.
this is important enough to share with the community.
That's great.
That's very true.
Any exciting projects that you're working on that you can talk about, or?
Exciting projects, yeah. Talking about that same thing. So I worked with a client that's based out of Orlando about a year ago. It's tough for him because he buses kids. He does like a lot of travel arrangements. Buses kids from all over the U.S. to Orlando to do like the band competitions.
Oh, wow.
Stuff like that. And so obviously all the parks have been closed. You know, Orlando's obviously like the whole thing with the amusement parks, COVID. So one thing that he was doing with his business is he wanted to provide those same kids that were going to the parks with this kind of attitude of gratitude. Not to sound like, kitschy or cliche, but that's basically it. And so his idea was to, his company is called Rack Dogs, which is Random Acts of Kindness.
Oh, wow.
And then dogs doing it's called Distributive Gratitude. And so it's cute because he has these little cards that have pictures of like cute dogs on them, but it also has a message saying, make sure to say thank you to somebody at the park who works there, who might, and then a description on the back saying, look, people like this are normally a little invisible, but saying a quick thanks goes a long way.
Wow, that's
things
awesome.
like that. And so I really
teaching moments,
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
for young kids.
Something so rare to see, like how many people are pitching an idea like that.
Yeah.
So how do you come in on a project like that?
So
how do you help them?
The idea was to create a series of videos where, as the kids were hours on the bus, they can watch these videos to kind of get an idea of what it's like from other kids' experiences of doing that same thing, and what to expect when to go to the park, when to use certain cards, or how to just behave and how to just be nice to other people, right? So that's what we created in terms of a series of videos for him. But then obviously since COVID, he had to change his business to now offering almost that same curriculum, but now to schools. And so very early on, he asked me, hey, listen, I want to create these videos. Everything's going to come out of pocket because right now I have no business. But I wanted to know if you would be willing to be on board and I can promote your business. And I told him, you know what, let's do it all. I don't want to charge you anything because I think that this is an amazing cause that you're doing.
Wow.
And I think that there's a lot more here that we can work with together. And honestly, you have a great relationship with hotels and the hospitality industry. That's more value to me if you went and introduced me to the key players there than if I sent you an invoice. And he's like, perfect, let's collaborate.
Wow. And then you do a great product. He shows it to the other, and that's how your business is word of mouth,
Exactly.
Pretty much.
And someone sees your product and say, "Wow, I want this guy to do it."
Yeah. So far, that's how it's been. I mean, I've been trying to do ad campaigns for myself. I just haven't had time. So it's all been working.
I've been telling you.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I even had asked him, is there even an Instagram? I didn't even know.
Yeah, I think I have
He
3 posts on
doesn't really
Instagram.
advertise.
Yeah.
Very
Really
modest.
bad. It's very ironic. I'm really bad at
It is better to just see things, for themselves. I think when we were buying our last car, we were sitting in the salesman's, little office, and there was a commercial play that he made.
Really? Which one was that one? Oh,
The French,
Yes, the Iteron, yeah.
yeah,
Like
some kind of GPS. So
And you did that
an
commercial.
advertisement for
Yeah.
GPS. What? I've seen
That's
this
awesome.
'cause all the videos he makes, I replay them in my head because I hear them all day.
Yeah, because the
long.
editing, that
editing-
is crazy. I don't know if I could do
editing
that.
is
That's the
insane.
only thing, how many times you have to watch one video
Yes.
and go from 1 second to 2 seconds to 3
Yes,
seconds.
Because you're building a
Everything.
story.
Precise.
Yeah.
It's just like writing a book or writing a story. Like as a writer, you go
That's
back
true.
and see it makes
And
sense.
you reread it and
Yeah.
reread
I
it.
don't know. That's I don't know.
But I'm going to announce here that, and Josie's probably like, what are you going to announce now?
Take some notes.
But through you, I mean, we're, upping the game with our technology in the church. We installed some new cameras, and I know you're working on just getting them
Yeah,
ready
I brought
to.
the whole computer home just so I could work on it there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So all of our parishioners, if you're watching Mass on live stream, you're going to be able to see the difference soon, because there won't be any tripods or any cameras in the way. Everything is is hidden in a sense.
Yeah.
But these are like high-powered cameras that you can really show every definition and clarity and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll have to do my hair in the morning. Not just wake up like one parishioner told me. You just wake up out of bed and go to, you know, just with the wet hair go to mass. But that's very exciting. I'm so grateful. Talk to us a little bit about that, about the cameras, what the potential that they have versus what we've had already. I mean, because I'm so grateful to you because you got us going the day after we all were shut down, and it's looked good. It's been beautiful.
I mean, live streaming, obviously, since I had done it for business for so long, I took an interest in it just because, and you can vouch for this, like, you're always thinking of like 10 things at the same time.
Yeah.
Even though you might not be able to.
Yeah.
It's like you're always, and so for me, that's the same thing that happens in live TV. You have to worry about all three cameras, you have to worry about the host, you have to worry about the graphics, about the video, about the timing and everything, all at the same time.
Yeah.
And so I've always kind of liked that and seen it to be so unattainable because it's all you see it on like the big TV networks, and then start to see technology evolve where now anyone can have, you know, 3 iPhones, be, you know, a multi-camera setup where you can cut from a close-up shot to somebody to a wide shot and then play some video afterwards, and it all looks like a real production.
And it's, yeah, and anyone, like you're saying, can kind of do it. Because maybe a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, this wouldn't have been as possible.
Right, but now it's very accessible.
Very accessible. It's on an app. It looks great. We have 3 or 4 cameras.
Yeah.
Thank God for Paula, who comes every morning and is able to continue to live stream it for us. But you were able to set it up for us. So.
Yeah, and the idea there is, you know, start to evolve from that into something a little bit more.
And that's where we're going now.
Yeah. So now we have the remote cameras that you can zoom in, zoom out. They're all like tucked away in the back of the church, but they have amazing quality. And you know, now we can start to experiment with like text on screen or like just different types of like animations coming in or out, like picture in picture with like, let's say the gospel reading, and then you still have, you know, the priest at the end will just, so stuff like that. Just those little tweaks really help in the production value and help to make it as transparent as possible. You know, and that's always a goal for me, is to make sure that the technology doesn't get in the way. Right, that it serves a purpose, but that it's not the purpose, right? And so having the cameras out of the way, having the ability to provide the readings, having the ability to provide any on-screen text that's necessary to help the viewer, you know, get
more
it
interactive.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I think that is so crucial for what the mystery and the sacredness that is Mass.
Yes.
Because I hate to have that camera there and the tripod. There has to be a sacredness. And so removing all of that and having the cameras where they are is so helpful. And it's incredible how the power that camera has, because it's in the back of the church, and the clarity and how it's able to come in, it's incredible.
Yeah, it was great.
I think the parishioners are going to be so grateful. And I want to give a shout out to one of our parishioners who actually gave a check for those cameras, which he doesn't want me to say who it is, but it's through the generosity of parishioners that really believe in the mission and say, no, you know what, I believe in this, and I like what you're doing, I want to help, you know. I think we're called to give our time, talent, and treasure, and you guys have been a great example of that. Where did that come from? Like, how did you know about time, talent, and treasure?
St. Michael.
St. Michael.
St. Michael's.
From Father Marina, I think.
Even before that, I just think we didn't have
a
a name,
campaign.
but I do remember, you know, Father Marino. he's very good about stewardship. But before that, I think we always we just knew to give of ourselves and give our time. It was just part of what we did. I started going to St. Michael's when I was 12.
Wow.
And before that, I was Protestant for a really long time.
And your family was Protestant?
And yeah.
Who did you go to St. Michael's with at age 12?
By myself.
By yourself?
Yes. Yes.
That's a story in itself. How does a 12-year-old know to go
He
to?
launched it just right.
Well,
I know.
well, it was interesting. I was baptized as an infant, but I never stepped foot into a church again until I was 12. And
But baptized in the Protestant faith?
no, in
the Catholic faith.
church, yes, because my parents and grandparents and family, were born Catholic. But we lived for some time in Puerto Rico, and there's a big movement of Protestant faiths
Right.
there. So, it just, when we lived there, the community we lived in, our neighbors, everyone was Protestant. It just, I guess it made sense to my mom. And that continued here when I moved here when I was 7. But when I was 12, I had nowhere to go because something that would always happen is those churches close.
The Protestant churches?
The Protestant churches.
Yeah, they would open and...
They open, they close, the pastors move, something happens, And then I just had nowhere to go. And I saw that my younger cousin was doing his first communion. And I was like, well, what's that? I've never done that. And I had been to every type of Jehovah's Witness, evangelical, and all sorts of things. So when I saw that, I was like, I'm going to do that too.
That is fascinating.
And so I remember my mother would never cross Flagler Street. I don't know where's meditation.
But it's a scary street, let me tell you.
So we lived closer, a little bit closer to Alapata, and we never went past Flagler Street. But I remember there's a big church on Flagler Street, and I think it says Catholic. So I investigated, and I just started. I started going, and my mom said, sure, go for it. And she always did. She always invited whatever, as long as it had a good purpose, she was okay with it.
Now I understand the whole night and day that you were talking about. Night and day. But it's fascinating how that faith is awakened in your heart as just by, I want to do that too.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I mean, that is the way that I got to St. Michael's, but there's something to be said about the power of the sacraments.
Yeah.
Because being baptized as an infant, I honestly feel that I've always
You belong.
I've always belonged. I just
That I am the daughter.
Aware too.
I am the daughter of it, the son of the Father.
Right, like you're always with God.
Yeah.
And even the sacrament of marriage itself, we've always been that's what's protected us.
Yeah.
So our sacraments have been really meaningful and alive in our lives and our spiritual life. And yeah, so that's how I got to St. Michael's, and then I just fell in love with the people there. And I think that's really what makes the difference. I remember then I had to do my confirmation because that's the next step, right?
Right.
Then somebody said, oh, what's next? I was like, what's next? There's more? And I remember telling my CCD teachers, well, I don't have anybody, so you're going to have to be my sponsors, And so that's really how things started.
And CCD teachers that were there forever and are
That were
probably
there.
still there.
well, Sergio and Lenore, they're now at St. Mary's.
They're at the cathedral, right?
But they've always been in ministry one way or another, right?
Great mentors for you guys.
Yeah. So that, I guess, when you say time, talent, and treasure, I don't know that we see it in those terms, but it's just a lifestyle.
I see it in those terms because
it's a lifestyle. Yeah.
It's a lifestyle. I see that it's more than just I have to give to the church or I have to go, volunteer. Whatever. It's part of who you are, and I've seen that.
But when you think about it, in your own home, for example, something is breaking or falling apart, you fix it, right? Yeah. You don't necessarily think, okay, this costs this much. I don't want to. It has to be fixed. Or you want to make it beautiful for Christmas or whatever the occasion is. I mean, your parish is that in the same way, that spiritual home, that you want everything beautiful there. You want to be a part of it. Something is is broken, it's broken for you too.
Right.
You know, and I guess that's really how we feel about stepping in and being here. We live here too.
Right.
Yeah, you almost feel like it's an instinct, you know, it's almost
It's instinct.
like
You do it for yourself.
an instinctual obligation when you feel like, yeah, you know, this is my home. You know, for me, like when we first started, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie, like doing the whole live streaming and doing
Yeah, it
every
is tough.
day and then kind of evolving everything else. It was tough. But
And then every Wednesday, you know, and at the beginning when we were kind of figuring out with the limited stuff that we have.
we would like spend almost a whole day like prep and everything. But to me, it's very much like, you know, with a baby, like you gotta wake up at 3 a.m. You hate it, it's tough, but you still love your baby and you still do it, no matter what.
Oh thank God.
Thank God he loves your baby.
But it's true though, like, you know, it's a sacrifice,
Yeah.
but you still do it unconditionally. You still do it, you know, without thinking twice.
And the thing too is, if it's for the Lord, it's not, you know, you don't belong to a social club or, you know, the Kiwanis or whatever, but it's really truly, it's where you encounter the risen Lord and you have this
you don't
relationship.
even think about, like, what do I get out of it?
Right.
It doesn't even come to mind.
I think it's more because of how fulfilling of a life, you know, you're getting through living out your faith in this way. And a lot of people do look for things to have entertainment or to find fulfillment, and it never truly satisfies, and nothing ever does.
That's right.
But there is a beauty that you encounter in this life. Just feeling a sense of community is enough to change, you know, your outlook on things. You know, when you watch the parish town halls or whatever, we're talking about things that we care about, that matter to us. That I think it was the one on fear that really touched me, and healing, and those are things that they're about our life.
Yeah.
You know, so how, again, I just think, how can I not be a part of everything, or want to be a part of everything that's happening in my parish when it gives me the life that I need?
You're absolutely right. And here's the thing, you can go on YouTube and there's a mass everywhere, every single day. You can, I'm pretty sure there's right now, most parishes offer a daily mass. But people want to be connected to their parish, where I can see the altar where I go on mass on Sundays, or the priest that I hear.
Right.
So there's that connection. It's home.
Yeah.
It's home.
That's where I feel at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I would go to Central Florida and we would visit, and there was some sort of like, you know, this ache of, I miss not being there anymore, and the great times and the sad times, and, you know, my dad's funeral was there, and just different things in that, because that church
Memories
becomes
attached, yeah.
part of who you are,
Yeah.
you know, on a deeper level. But awesome.
So now that we've kind of been in the hot seat for a while, you're in the hot seat, so
All right, that's fine.
do you? So you know, Town Hall's been great.
Yeah.
Bless's Kitchen has been good. Do you remember your first episode of Bless's Kitchen?
Oh!
Yeah, it was with Justin.
No, it wasn't.
No?
No, it was 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah, it was your first episode of Bless's Kitchen. It was Bless's house.
It was
Bless his
really
house.
blessed this house.
Let me see. Look at that. What? That's crazy. I love this. Wait, you got to show this on camera here. Let me see. Look at this, how a baby face. Look at this baby
It
face.
does, even as a little.
Look at this baby face. All right, then let me see the other one. Look at them. Look how young they look. Look at this, guys.
That's before our kitchen even looked like a kitchen.
Yeah.
That's
We barely had a
awesome.
kitchen.
We barely had a kitchen. Yeah.
I remember that day like if it was yesterday.
So, yeah.
This was 10 years ago?
10 years ago. Yeah.
Look how skinny I was. Look how young I was.
You weren't doing Bless's
Look
Kitchen
at that. Look at that. I was doing Bless's Kitchen 10 years ago. That's insane. 10 years ago.
We went down memory lane for a little bit. We even found the not the invitation, but the, what do you call that, the program for your ordination.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's so great. I think that that's a life well lived in the sense that you kind of say, well, what are the important times in my life? You know, that is such a beautiful memory. Yeah, I remember it like if it was yesterday.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
10 years.
Wow.
10 years, 3 years.
And 3 years, 3 kids later.
But no matter what, I have to say it's been a good 10 years.
But it's hilarious because when I got here, I was like, oh, they came to see me. And then somebody told me, they're parishioners here. They've been here for a while. I was like, oh man, you busted my bubble.
But we will say this, you know, we didn't register until you got here.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, so you have that.
Oh, I like
So you
that.
can have
See,
that.
I like
You can
that.
have that.
I like that.
Yeah, I think every time we were...
Because of you, we're registered parishioners.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yes. No, I think every time we were almost at the point of maybe we'll stay and we'll register. A new parishioner came. A new
pastor?
Yeah.
It was first
Carruthers.
Carruthers.
Yeah, Monsignor Carruthers.
And we had been here a little bit, and we're like, you know, this could be a good fit.
Yeah.
And then he left, and we're like, what just happened? What happened? And then
Monsignor Marin
came, and you know, it took some time for us, but we were just about to do it too. And then, you know, he passed, so it was just now, okay, now what? What is it
Who's
about
coming?
St. Augustine? Like, I don't know that we should stay here. And then we saw you, and we're like,
Oh, we know this guy?
Yeah.
Well,
we didn't think you were going to stay.
Yeah, well, I didn't think I was going to stay either.
so we were also like, oh, well, this has to be a transition.
Yeah.
But we're definitely happy that you're here and that you stayed. And
No, I'm glad I have you guys. Are you
And
kidding me?
we're really
I have
here.
so many plans. I still have big
Oh,
plans.
that's
Yeah. Don't go anywhere. Because I need you guys. I think that, but how beautiful your marriage, your kids growing up in a parish that you love and are involved in. And like you said, now we're getting back into the ministry, into the juices that flow, that have always been there, that are natural to us, you know?
Yeah, we want our kids to see that life. You know, we're hoping to see a lot more action with children here. It's, you know, we haven't been able to do that since we've been, you know, moving around a little bit.
Yeah.
And just waiting to see, okay, what's going to happen at St. Augustine. But we do know our children love this parish, and they know, even when we were watching live stream, they could watch the Pope's Mass,
Yeah.
or they could watch St. Mary's, but
Yeah.
it was something about, well, if we're going to Mass, it had to be Father Rigorous Mass.
Yeah.
And I
There's a
think that
connection
was,
there,
Yeah.
you know?
That's something that, seeing them like completely understand, you know, even as children, oh, this is my church, okay, you know.
What do you guys do for, as parents, for your children, like that domestic church? What do you guys do to instill the faith in them and supplement what they're getting at Mass? And
We talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we can't say that we explain the Gospels to them per se, but we do read a lot of
well, they're
Bible
little.
stories. They're
little
little.
still.
Yeah.
They're
We
little.
always try to get them like a little figurine of their saint or their patron saint. They
We
each have
do
one.
talk a lot about the saints.
Yeah.
Yes, we talk a lot about the saints, just so that they know that they're people just like us, and that that's something that they can achieve.
Yeah.
Now, how do you come up with, because I know you and Michelle work, but you have these great ideas like with the parish faith challenges and things. How does that come up? Is it something that you guys live it, or and you say this is something that we do and it can apply to families?
Yeah,
because you have some great ideas.
Necessary that just I have a lot of ideas that also come from things that a lot of people are doing right now. There's a big movement for like liturgical living in the home, and for a few years now, for many years, I would say that's been a source of renewal in faith for me, just practicing things at home. So
The domestic church.
right. So for every liturgical season, for example, I set the house up differently and the decoration differently.
Yeah, and the kids learn
And
from
the
that.
kids know, oh, it's Lent. Mom put
Yeah.
purple stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, or they're aware, oh, it's Advent. You know, this is a time of. So it's not just like they wake up on Christmas full of toys, but they've been
Like, they
preparing
go through
themselves
that-
and
through
they've been
Advent,
going
yeah.
through Advent too.
Like every Sunday night.
That
we'll
is
pray, we'll have a
incredible.
candle.
Yeah.
You know, so they
And
keep
they're
track.
part of it. So like whoever gets to, you know, blow the candle, they're like, oh my God, I'm the kid in the house.
I want to blow out the candle. I wanna blow out the candle.
Yes, you know, lots of fires. But and I think that really just makes our life just more meaningful. Everything that we do, but that comes from something that a lot of families are doing now. If you look at Instagram or social media, you know, I've been following a lot of families and moms that are focusing on that. You know,
Well, keep thinking of more ideas because I want to keep doing things. You know, with this new show, Sacred Spaces, I like it. We were kind of editing some stuff last night that we were looking at, and it's looking good. Yeah. And tomorrow we're gonna go out to see another couple, and so you touched on it, the connectivity of the different parishioners and going out, and it can no longer be that church where here we are, we've been here for 60 years, come to me. What you're talking about now, what's the domestic church? How are we liturgically conscious of how we celebrate, and how are we going out to the people, to their homes?
How does it touch
About
our
a while
life?
ago,
Yeah.
About the original, like the first church where
Yeah.
Jesus sent out the apostles.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we're doing digitally.
That's what we're doing digitally. And you have a lot of great ideas because Daniel's great because he pushes me. And he says, now we got to do a series on this, and let's build a series on let's do this, and let's do something, which we do.
I know that kind of pushing.
Which is good. I need to find a lot of time to do a lot of this stuff, but there's a lot of good stuff coming down the pike. You know, we just got to find time to do it.
Yeah, I tell him that all the time. Like, I'll have like one small idea. He's like, now let's make it like this. He's like, wait, I work. I have to do this. Like,
Yeah.
calm down.
It's been an interesting year.
It has.
I think that COVID-19 really, the silver lining is that it has pushed us to be church in a different way.
We can thrive
And
in a
yeah,
different way.
stretch us in a different way. And it's fascinating how we've been able to just develop this digital evangelization. Because I remember, Daniel, you came to me and you were like, I don't remember if it was you or maybe one of you guys, somebody said to me, you know, have you ever thought about this? And I said, no, you know, not for right now. Digital evangelization, I don't really got time for that, and we'll figure it out. I do want to do that, but I want to concentrate a little bit on this or that, and I'll get to it. And then boom,
That's the only thing you were able to
March 20th.
Absolutely.
This is all you're going to be able to do. You know.
Now.
Yeah, exactly.
But life is like that.
Yeah.
You just have to, you know, whatever is in front of you, you have to confront it. You know?
and like have faith in the Lord that it'll come through.
Yeah.
Amen. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on Bless His Kitchen. Thank you for all that you do, both of you. Incredible. Like I said to you before, I've said this to Daniel so many times, that you can never outdo God's generosity, and you guys continue to pour and pour without expecting anything back in return. And I'm grateful. This parish is grateful for all that you've done to help us and to help us to pray. And because I wouldn't have been able to do it. I don't know anything. I know my iPhone and things like that, but that's about it. I don't know anything about editing or doing anything like that. But again, just thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, as this is the last show. We come to a close for the summer, and it's been a great run, and I'm looking forward to September. And if you want to check out the Creative Particle, look at it, check out the website, thecreativeparticle.com. Daniel does amazing work. He's a parishioner. Check him out. He can do something for your business. But thank you for joining me today at lunch. And we'll see you guys back in September. God bless. Take care. Thank you, guys. Did you like the lasagna?
It was amazing. I'm just
You got to try the flan too. The flan is
that's what I
delicious.
wanna have.
The flan is delicious. Also, the salad was.